We're back now with the Justice Files. Joining us tonight, criminal defense attorney Eric Guster, and former prosecutor and host of Judge Faith Jenkins. Thank you both for being here tonight.
Thank you.
We start tonight here in New York City with two new videos of New York City police officers. The New York officer appearing to knock out a teen, to knock him unconscious over what he thought was marijuana.
Just a cigarette! Mister, it was just a cigarette, sir. Just a cigarette.
You can't quite see it, but the officer appears to punch him. And seconds later, his friends notice the teen is unconscious.
He knocked out! Yes, he knocked out! You knocked him 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 out! You knocked out! You knocked him out!
The NYPD says it's investigating that case. Also in New York, after a man allegedly yelled at police for arresting someone, watch what happens next.
Look, you see this? Look. You see this? You see this?
Yeah, get him,
man, give my money, man. Give my money.
The unidentified officer appears to have taken more than $1,000 from the man. You can see on the video something in the officer's hand.
Look, you see this? Look. You see this? You see this?
Yeah, get him, man.
Give my money, man. Give my money.
The officer takes money out of his pocket and then pepper sprays him. He later said he had the money for a birthday celebration for his wife. Moments later, the man's sister tried to find out the officer's name.
I badge number's right there. You gotta get his badge number. 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 Right there. He just stole his money. He just stole his money.
As you can see in the video, he pepper sprayed her too. The NYPD says it is also investigating this incident. Faith, let's start with you. With this incident of the alleged theft, what do you see and what should happen to this officer?
Well, I don't see alleged theft. I see alleged strong-arm robbery. That's what I see. That's the forcible taking of property of another person by a police officer. Just because he's a police officer, does that mean he should not be criminally prosecuted? I think that means he's held to an even higher standard, which he is. If you're going to wear the badge and you're going to uphold the law, then you have to abide by the law. And the reason why these things keep happening, Rev, is because the lack of consequences for the police officers involved.
Eric?
And I totally agree, and I believe it's a little bit higher than strong-arm robbery because he had a gun, and he used a weapon, being the pepper spray. This is why people do not trust the police officers. And luckily for these two incidents, these people had video. And that is the one thing that so many people are using in order to hold police officers accountable. Because just like Judge Faith said, when police officers do things like this, you know, they must be held accountable, and this man must be held accountable for this.
No, I mean, but have you ever seen anything like this on tape? I mean, we talked about the Ferguson effect earlier, but this is the Staten Island effect in terms of videoing the thing as it was happening.
Right, and what is so key about these cases is I'm absolutely convinced had it not been for videotapes, these officers would be completely exonerated. And when you live in these communities, I've lived in Harlem for a number of years, and you see things for yourself. You see things happening. You hear people in the communities talk about what happens on the streets on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
They don't always have videotapes, Rev, and their voices aren't heard when they don't. That's a big part of the problem.
Well, and then when people like me get involved, it's like, how could you believe that? So now with the videotapes, people are seeing for themselves, whether they agree or not with your conclusions or mine, Eric, that we are not making this stuff up.
No, and this is stuff that you can't make up. This is a man who was on the ground in the first one where this police officer knocked him out. I mean, completely out while he was... Yes, and he was completely defenseless. There was no reason, whether he was smoking a cigarette, smoking marijuana, had a pound of cocaine, it should not matter. That should have never happened.
Now, the police has said, released a statement saying they had gotten a call about a man with a gun And these were the people that were on the scene when they first arrived. This is the first video that we played.
The kid with the marijuana cigarette. Okay, so you respond.
No, the other one where when the money was taken.
And so you respond accordingly, right? But you do your investigation. Why is money involved in this? He takes money and he walks away. He doesn't take a gun. He doesn't take a weapon. He takes money. Was that money ever vouchered? Was that money ever accounted for? That is a robbery.
Absolutely. And this reminds me so much of the Philadelphia case where all those police officers were arrested and investigated for stealing money. This is a very real problem in so many communities, Reverend Al, where police officers are accused of taking money, taking drugs, and doing other things. This video shows that some of those claims could be very valid and very real because we have it on tape where this happened.
Now, Judge Faith, go back to the one you had referred to. The kid knocked out because he thought he was smoking marijuana.
Well, first of all, in New York, low-level marijuana offenses are now being decriminalized, where police officers are being told because of the number of arrests and because of the number of cases going through our court system, so convoluted right now, don't even arrest people for low-level marijuana offenses. So that's the instructions given to NYPD right now. How do we get from that to knocking out and committing an assault against a 17-year-old kid? It's not about lack of training. Any decent human being knows not to assault someone else. It's about rogue officers doing what they want to do because they don't have consequences. They don't suffer the consequences for their actions.
Well, that's the point, I think. I think that we will see this as long as there are not consequences. I do not think all police are bad. I don't even think most are bad.
Right.
But as long as police don't think they have to be held to the law, we're going to keep seeing this. Because of Ferguson, because of Staten Island with the videotaping, people are videotaping now, so it brings us closer. But we're not there until there's equal protection under the law. Eric Guster and Judge Faith Jenkins, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.